Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Reading Ideas. Now I've got a reading idea for you today, a book that I've discussed before, but also a topic that I'm interested in and I'm hoping that you will be too. Now, the book is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Is this going to turn out to be one of the most important books of all time? Is it going to lead or help to lead to the long-term saviour progression of humanity? Let's have a look why. Now, Elon Musk, is he a supervillain? No. Or is he one of the most consequential human beings of our century? So, Elon Musk, who is he? What's he up to? And what's the connection with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? So here is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the connection to Elon Musk in his own words. Okay? So, when I was a teenager, I had an existential crisis to try to figure out what's the meaning of life. There didn't seem to be any meaning. For me, at least, the religious texts that I read, all of them that I could get my hands on, did not seem convincing. Then I started reading philosophers. Be careful of reading German philosophers as a teenager. It's definitely not going to help with your depression. Reading Schopenhauer, Nietzsche as an adult is much more manageable. But as a kid, you're like, whoa. I was just struggling to find meaning in life here. And then I read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And basically, what Douglas Adams was saying is that we don't really know what the right questions are to ask. In the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Earth is a big computer, and the goal is to answer the question, what is the meaning of life? And Earth comes up with the answer. I won't say it for the book, but it's famous. You'll probably know it if you've read it. In that book, which is really an existential philosophy book disguised as humour, they come to the conclusion that the real problem is trying to formulate the question. And to really have the right question, you need a much bigger computer than Earth. One way of characterising this would be to say the universe is the answer. What is the question? What are the questions? The more we can expand the scope and scale of consciousness, the better we can understand what questions to ask about the answer. That is the universe. The more we can expand consciousness, become a multiplanetary species, ultimately a multistellar species, we have a chance of figuring out what the hell is going on. This is why I think we should have more humans and more biological and digital consciousness, and why we should become a multi-planet species and a multistellar species, so that we can understand the nature of the universe. In order for that to occur, we have to make sure that things are good on Earth. We don't want Earth to disappear, so sustainable energy is important for ensuring the long-term viability of Earth, and making life multiplanetary is important for extending consciousness. Ultimately, we want to go and visit other star systems to see if there are any alien civilizations there that perhaps still exist or perhaps died out millions of years ago. So that is Elon Musk in his own words about what he's up to. So basically he thought, what do I do with my life? Consciousness is precious. The universe is here. What happened? How is it here? let's go find out. Let's make ourselves multiplanetary. Now, here's the thing with Elon. When he's in, he's all in. He's gone for it, hasn't he? So, his idea is we'll become multiplanetary. Where's the best place to go? Mars. Right, how do I get to Mars? So, well, I'm going to need to be I'm going to need to be a bit wealthy to get there. So I'll set up a few companies to get going, Zip2, PayPal. So basically he earns a bit of money. And now that he's got a bit of money, he thinks, right, the first thing I need to do to be able to get to Mars is to get some rockets. So I'll go to Russia and see if I can buy one. And he did. And, it wasn't kind of going well. He probably stepped on a few toes. So he decided, right, okay, so I'm going to have to build my own. And to do that, I can't just build one. I'm going to have a business on the side. So I know I'm going to launch a satellite business, a company called SpaceX. I'm going to launch a satellite business. And when I get the money for my satellite business, I will have developed a big rocket that can take me to Mars as a byproduct. So he set up Starlink to put satellites in space, pretty much just so that he could get the rocket to go to Mars. Now, that's genius. Obviously, he wants the planet to be, energy sources to be ethical. So he's, come on to the energy bit, but he decided, right, well, cars should be electric and that will help save the planet here on Earth. And it just so happens that you can't have petrol engines up on Mars. So as a byproduct of building electric cars on Earth, I'll get myself some electric cars that I will be able to use on Mars. That's genius. Right, now, what else will I need? Well, I'm going to need an energy source on Mars, and pretty much, I could do nuclear, and perhaps I'll dabble at that at some point. But, the biggest energy source in the universe is, of course, the sun. So I'm going to need solar power. Now, of course, down on Earth, if we can get solar energy, then that will probably be better for the planet than petrol engines. So I'll set up SolarCity, and I will help here on Earth to have an ethical energy source, and I'll just happen to get myself some great solar technology that I can take with me when I go up to Mars. Not bad. Now, what else did he need to do? Right. Well, if you're going to have solar power, you're going to have to store that, because, of course, the sun disappears behind the Earth or Mars. So we're going to need batteries. So I know, and of course, it will ethically help down here on Earth to have, storage to even out the sunshine from the solar power. And I will just happen to be able to take some batteries up with me to Mars. This guy is unbelievable. There's nobody like him on Earth. There's no, his thinking's way beyond NASA, way beyond the government. Unbelievable. You may disagree, but you're wrong. And now here's the one that got me. The Boring Company. So, there's, you have a place like Los Angeles, New York. It's very, very crowded. Traffic, it's congestion. You can't build new roads easily. If you build them in the sky, you're going to get in the way of everything. So there's loads of unused real estate below the ground. And if you dig tunnels, as we've known for a long time, if you dig tunnels, then you can whack a load of the traffic down below and free up space for the humans above. So, very, very ethical. And he's developed the Boring Company, which, apparently it can just set off anywhere and lay tunnel behind it as it goes, better than anything else. Now, why could he want to do that? Right, well, when you're on Mars, there's no atmosphere and, there's lots of radiation. So at the start, we'll probably have to live underground. So if we could bore underneath Mars, so I need a boring machine. Oh, I know. I'll set up the Boring Company here on Earth. Very, very ethical. Set tunnels everywhere. I'm even thinking of New York to London. We're going to have to sort out England, by the way, but we'll come on to that. What genius! So I've set up this brilliant company that's going to help down here on Earth, and I'll just happen to have developed a boring machine that I'll be able to take with me to Mars. Brilliant. Right, now, well, of course, we're going to need lots of brain power up there. It'll help us if we're clever. So why don't I develop Neuralink? It can help down here on Earth if, somebody's paraplegic or something, that might help them, or, help increase brain power. But of course, I'll take a few with me up to Mars. Now, of course, it's going to be very, very dangerous on Mars. Incredibly dangerous. Radiation, no oxygen. So people pottering about up there, doing work is going to be very, very dangerous. There's going to be a lot of construction kind of going on up there. It would really help if we could have a few robots. Oh, I know. Robots. Oh. So I'll develop robots. People will like them down here, carry a tray of drinks and all that kind of stuff, and I'll have them carrying rocks and help me digging the tunnels up on Mars. Wow. Now, the other things that he's got himself involved in is AI. Now, he helps set up AI just as a side interest, but I find it interesting that he didn't put his heart and soul into that. He had discussions, he helped get it underway. It was going to be non-for-profit. He's only started to get involved when the people running it decided, well, hang on a minute, we could make billions out of this. We'll drop that whole non-for-profit business, and there's a few ethical things, but come on, full steam ahead, let's make billions. So he's only started getting involved when it kind of looked like it was kind of going off in a direction he didn't like. So that's interesting. Now, the other thing that he's got himself involved in, of course, launching rockets and electric cars, he has come across regulatory burdens like probably nobody else. And he basically, apart from what happened with his child, he came across, government bureaucracy and, the great big machinery of government that has gone, shall we say it's gone woke? It's gone a little bit woke. All the environmental, taking things too far, censorship, blocking crypto, all that. He was kind of on the edge of things when they tried to assassinate Trump. He just went, right, that's it. I am all in to get this guy elected. We need free speech. We need this guy in. You can disagree, of course, but that was his thinking. So he didn't intend to buy Twitter, but he realised that it was a massive censorship machine, and it was putting, what's the point of trying to save humanity with electric cars if it's busy destroying itself and destroying American freedoms, all the amendments. So I'll buy Twitter. It'll cost me a bit. That Democrat judge over in California made him overpaid the odds, but he went ahead, bought it, cleaned out all the alphabet people, and cleaned out all the censorship machinery, brought in more engineers, software people, cleaned it all up, and let the thing run. Put on community notes so that people can correct propaganda. You're always going to have propaganda. You're always going to have side taking. So, you can say it's a bad thing, but normally what happens is that people will just say, I like this person, I don't like this person, blah, blah, blah. Facts and reasons, please. Facts and reasons. So, got involved in Twitter as a byproduct of just trying to get ahead. They needed free speech. Got involved in electing Trump. You can disagree over the reasons why, but he did. And, you can say that he's out to enrich himself. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Who knows? But that's why he's doing what he's doing. So he's getting humanity to Mars. He's building and catching rockets to do it. He's making electric cars to do it. He's making AI. He's making batteries. He is making robots. He's making Neuralink. So you can say he is, a Dr. Blofeld evil Bond villain, which, he may turn out to be. I doubt it, but he may turn out to be. But he is without doubt the most consequential human of our generation by some long distance. If you look back at previous people like this, Henry Ford and all these people, Edison, absolutely amazing people, but there were other amazing people around at the time, Nikola Tesla and all these people. Who else is out there doing what he's doing? I can't see it. So, is it all? Imagine writing a book that has had that, help along the way or consequence. Would we have what we have without this book? Who knows? But let's hope the future's bright. That's just some thoughts on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and who Elon Musk is. I look forward to your comments. Happy reading, everybody.